Hi, I am Jaclyn Steele, and welcome to Self-Discovery. Howard Thurman so beautifully wrote, "Don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive and go do it. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive." Coming alive. That, my friends, is what self-discovery is all about.
Wear that mask for.
All right, friends, here we are. It's Wednesday morning, or maybe it's Friday or Saturday or Sunday or whatever day of the week whenever you are listening to this, but it is airing on Wednesday morning. This is a brand new episode of Self-Discovery, and this is a life update. So periodically, throughout the last almost 2 years of this podcast, I do life updates because I think it's so important for me to be sharing behind the curtain of my life. Not only do I feel like it builds trust, but also one of the primary reasons beyond empowering you in this podcast and why I created it was because I wanted to connect. And I wanted to connect beyond traditional social media of images and words. I wanted to connect with my voice and with my ears and connect in a way that I feel like is so conversational and so personal and intimate and privileged. I'm so privileged to be able to speak with you guys. And so I share these life updates because I feel like it's important for me to do so. You should know who it is behind these weekly podcast episodes. And you should also know, or I want you to know, that I am who I say I am. And so that's why I do these life updates. Before I dive into today's life update, which is by far the biggest one that I have ever done, I want to chat a few business things. I want you to join my Sacred Rebel community. You can text me at 480-531-6858 and opt in, and then type in the word sacred, SACRED. It is totally free, but this texting community is so rich with empowerment and enthusiasm and wisdom and questioning the status quo. And I want you to be part of it. So again, text me at 480-531-6858. That's also in the show notes. It's in the blog notes. It can be found if you want to find it. Next thing, I restarted my email newsletter, and it is not a normal email newsletter. This is called The Scoop. And it is about wellness. It is about self-help. It's about inspiration. It's about conscious consumption. It's about cool books and meditations. This episode is meant to be this newsletter is meant to be a breath of fresh air in what is generally a bogged down and heavy inbox. So if you want to sign up for that, go to jaclynsteele.com, or you can sign up in the show notes below. If you want to share it with your friends, please do so as well. I feel like the more high vibrational frequency I can be sharing, and the more you can share high vibrational frequency, the better the world we will live in. So it's all good on good on good. Third piece of business, and this is the last one. Please leave a review for this podcast and rate it. It will take you 2 minutes, and it makes a world of difference in the searchability of this podcast and it being found by other people, and hopefully something that they listen to regularly and are immensely inspired by. So please take a moment to write a review. Okay, now into the episode. And as the title of this episode suggests, my life is changing forever. I have been keeping a secret the last 5 months. I don't normally keep a lot of secrets, especially around things that are causing me a lot of growth and learning. However, over the last 5 months, it's been such a time of deep reflection and growth. I've kept the podcast going, but I've been on the quieter side on social media. And it's been such a treat to take a step back and stop pressuring myself to be present in multiple places as if that's even a real thing and it's possible. And I've been keeping this secret for many reasons. One, because I wanted to give myself time to sit with it before the world weighs in. Two, because it's been delicate and very personal, and I've wanted to keep this part of me private for a while. And three, because the world has been so heavy, and I've wanted to be quiet amongst so much noise and what I have felt like is really low vibrational noise. I don't want to add to the low vibrations. I want to add to the high vibrations in the world. And I just haven't been in a headspace to do that. Now, though, I feel it's time to share what's been happening in my life the last 5 transformative months. And I want to share it with you, my beautiful listeners, first, because I feel like we have cultivated such a deep relationship over the last almost 2 years. And this secret I have been keeping is... Today's episode of Self-Discovery with Jaclyn Steele is supported by Ritual. Ritual creates, in my opinion, the best vitamins on the planet. They're traceable, meaning every ingredient is transparently traceable to where it was grown and harvested. They're non-GMO, third-party tested, vegan, and they contain no artificial flavors or synthetic fillers. So guys, did you know that a lot of over-the-counter vitamins have fillers and synthetic dyes, like dyes that make your urine yellow so you think the vitamin is actually working? When I found this out, I literally wanted to vom. Anyway, back to the awesomeness of Ritual that doesn't do that to you. They have multivitamins for women, including prenatal and postnatal, multivitamins for men, and a multi for children. Every ad in this podcast is hand-chosen by me. Every single one. I reach out to these companies personally based on my experience with their products. With Ritual, that is the absolute truth as well. I have been taking their vitamins for about 3 years. And prior to finding Ritual, I tried many multivitamins, all of which, and I don't know, those of you can relate to me here, but I know there are some of you, but all of which made me nauseous and sometimes vomit, especially if I didn't take them with food. Ritual is literally, guys, the only vitamin I have ever been able to take on an empty stomach and then not vomited afterwards. I have no nausea, no ill symptoms whatsoever, even after taking it on an empty stomach. In addition, I can speak to their efficacy. Since being diagnosed with Hashimoto's, I've had numerous blood tests, and normally people in my position have low vitamin B12, and my blood tests have shown that my B12 levels are healthy. Yay! My husband also takes the men's multi. We have been so happy with Ritual, especially since the emergence of COVID. Our health is a priority and such an immense gift all the time, but especially during this time. For 10% off your first 3 months, go to ritual.com or click the link below and use code Jaclyn Steele. Again, 10% off your first 3 months. Go to ritual.com and use the code Jaclyn Steele, all one word, and have your amazing Ritual vitamins delivered right to your door. All the details and links are in the show notes below. Okay, by now you guys know that I love a sustainable brand, and today I am so proud to say that this episode is powered by PACT. Their mission is to build Earth's favorite clothing company. In addition to their mission, which is reason enough itself to buy from PACT, here is why I love them so much. Everything they make at PACT starts with Earth's favorite fiber, organic cotton. Growing cotton organically saves vast amounts of water and uses no toxic chemicals. PACT also partners with fair trade certified factories, so they ensure care for both people and the planet. Thank you very much. Their organic cotton items are bomb, you guys. I love their socks and panties. In fact, I'm wearing them right now. They're so comfortable and such a high quality. This is how I like my knickers made. Soft and sustainably sourced. Thank you very much. They also offer the option to offset the carbon footprint of your shipment. And their range of goods is vast. Organic sheets? Check. Organic t-shirts? Check. Organic undergarments for men and women? Check. Organic dresses? Check. Organic yoga pants? Check. And I feel like I'm just getting started. I have a bunch of their panties and socks and a tank top. And when I went to purchase their organic king sheets, they were sold out. But fortunately for me, I have been monitoring their website and I got my paws on their organic king size sheet. I'm telling you, these sheets are fantastic. Go to wearpact.com and use code Jaclyn20 for 20% off your first time purchases, not including sale and cannot be combined with other offers. The link and code are in the show notes, and you can also visit jaclynsteele.com/pact to see some of my favorite pact picks. Now back to the episode. That I am pregnant, and I feel tears welling in my eyes as I say that. When this episode airs next week, I will be at almost 22 weeks. So I'm over halfway there, which is so amazing. This pregnancy has felt like it's flown by and been as slow as a turtle in some moments. Speaking of turtles, I'm also starting to feel like when I lay on my back, like a turtle that has been turned over. I can't quite get up like I used to, and it's hilarious and also frustrating at the same time. What I want to share is that I find this to be so beautiful, and it's the undeniable hand of God in all of this, in my pregnancy and in my life. And I don't say that because I think I'm special. I say that as a reminder to all of us how intimate and loving and kind and good God is to all of us. And I want to give you a small example of this, specifically when it comes to my pregnancy. I have been hesitant to have children for a long time for many reasons, some of which I'm happy to chat about if you guys are interested, but primarily because I've been in a state of fear. I did a whole episode around pregnancy interviewing my mom in season 1, episode 38, if you want to check that out, where I shared some of my fears and some of my trepidations, and my mom gave a lot of really, really, really gut level honest answers. So that's a good episode to check out. But in 2020, on the verge of turning 34, I knew I had to really start thinking about how serious or not serious I was about having children. I knew I had time, still have time, but I'd been waffling for so long that I knew I needed to draw a line in the sand and start moving in one direction or the other. Within about a month of coming to that realization, that was around July of last year, I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's thyroiditis. And I've talked about this many times on the podcast. You can reference episodes 42, 44, 63, 68, 74, and 77 for more information on my Hashimoto's diagnosis and some of the tactics that I've used to put it in remission. But anyway, one of the difficult things about Hashimoto's is that for some women, it can be really hard to get pregnant and keep a pregnancy. So I did what I could after the shock of learning that to get my numbers in check and put Hashimoto's in remission as fast as I could. Couple things, I got on a medication called levothyroxine. I gave up gluten, which I do eat a little bit of gluten now, just as a side note, but not a lot. I did some temporary hormone replacement therapy that really just kind of got me back into balance. And I got really serious about managing my stress because stress is one of the largest triggers for Hashimoto's. And by January, all my thyroid numbers were in normal range. So within about 4.5 months, which this is totally miraculous, to have my numbers in normal range means my Hashimoto's was in remission. And I spoke with my functional medicine doctor in February. I did an episode with him, that's Dr. Ryan, and asked him what I needed to do in order to think seriously about getting pregnant, thinking he would tell me, well, you need to give up this food, you need to maybe increase this medication, take these herbs, etc. And he said, I think you are in fantastic shape if you are ready to start trying. And in that moment, I felt such fear, but at the same time, excitement about this prospect. It's something that my husband, Sam, has desperately been wanting for years, and I am the one who has been digging my heels in. There was this other just world of peace that came over me in April. So I got that information from my functional medicine doctor in February. And then in April, after we moved into our house in Scottsdale and created a little more stability after RV living for almost a year, I had this peace, and I know it was of God. And I felt myself literally say, I'm ready. And friends, our words are so powerful. I'm going to cry again. So that was in April. And by May, I was taking a pregnancy test and found it reading positive. I then took another one and it came up positive too. And I was in awe at how fast I felt God working. God doesn't always work this fast in my life, but God sometimes does. And I just want to encourage you guys to trust the process and know that miracles are absolutely possible. In addition, I also felt in awe of how last year, when I started thinking about seriously trying to get pregnant, that God allowed me to be diagnosed after how many years of struggling with it, with Hashimoto's. How then I felt divinely led after my diagnosis to try several methods of tackling this autoimmune disease. And I went into remission in what most would consider a very, very short amount of time for this particular autoimmune disease. And Hashimoto's is not an easy disease to live with. However, I also feel as though it's been an immense blessing in my life because it's been teaching me how to treat myself. And I realize now, had I not been diagnosed in August of 2020, I may not be 5 months pregnant right now. I may have struggled and wondered why I wasn't getting pregnant. But because of my diagnosis and the action that I was led to take, I got my body back into a state of balance where it could carry a healthy pregnancy. And God is so good like this. I am reminded of how divinely supported we are all the time, especially when I take a moment to stop and reflect. 21 weeks in, as of the time of this recording, my sweet child is baking away beautifully. I have my hand on this baby's, well, I guess on my belly. I don't know where my hand is on the baby right now. And my hand is also next to Pippin, my little Yorkie, who just is a permanent fixture on my lap. And I'm so grateful. I've had 3 ultrasounds, and without fail, I'm going to let this motorcycle pass. Man, that's loud. I've had 3 ultrasounds, and without fail, I cry every time I hear this precious life's heartbeat. I feel so honored to be carrying this sweet soul, and I cannot wait to meet my baby in February of 2022. So that is my big life-changing news. That is also an example of how intimately I feel like God meets us, the universe meets us, however you want to define it. I'm still wrapping my mind around this news as I watch my belly grow and prepare a nursery to bring this beloved baby home to. And I wanted to share this with you because I value you so much as my listener. Beyond my family and small circle of friends, I'm honored to bring this news to you first because you are just such a treasured feature in my life. If you are interested in hearing more behind the scenes stuff about pregnancy, I will happily share that. Send me a message on social media or shoot me a text. You know where to find me at this point. I had a really tough first trimester, and I wish more women would talk about some of the not so wonderful parts of being pregnant, so those parts wouldn't feel so terribly isolating. So again, I'm willing to speak out on that, especially if it's something that you would be interested in listening to, so let me know. I'm blessed to have your wonderful ears on this episode. Thank you so much for delighting in this news with me. Okay, have a great day.